Sings White Christmas. He makes you feel nice. December will be magic again. Oh, St. Nicholas up the chimney, just a pop of love in my memory. Ooh, jumping down in my parachute. She is so beautiful upon the black sword icicle rules. Ooh, see how I fall. Ooh, see how I fall. Like the snow.
Well, good evening, everyone, and Merry Christmas Eve to everyone out there in the pipe community. All you pipe smokers, I'm just sitting here relaxing in my recliner next to my Christmas tree, just after eating a nice meal, and I'm getting ready to have a nice smoke. Actually, I've already smoked a bowl of this tobacco that I'm about to show you, and it's very suiting for the holiday. And here it is, Cornell and Diehl Jolly Old St. Nicholas. Since I'm in low lighting and I'm not going to be able to read the tin very well, I'm going to take you to tobacco reviews, and I'm going to read what it says there. Okay. A largesse of St. Nick's personal smoking mixture. This blend features Golden Virginias, Black Cavendish, and a hint of Perique, imbued with a generous touch of orange liqueur and hints of ginger, hearkening back to an old legend of Kris Kringle secretly gifting gold to a family in need. Now, this is Cornell and Diehl's Christmas blend for the year 2018. That's nice to know that a tobacco company is releasing a new Christmas blend with all the controversy with the FDA and all that going on. This is, I don't know how they're actually even doing it, but they did. So this tobacco is blended by Jeremy Reeves. Of course, it's manufactured by Cornell and Diehl. It's an aromatic. The contents: Black Cavendish, Perique, Virginia. Flavoring: ginger orange. It's a ribbon cut. Comes in a 2-ounce tin and is currently available. And from what I have observed in my travels on the internet, I noticed it only seems to be available at Smoking Pipes. It could be available at Cup of Joe's or one of those, but I haven't really checked. So the strength is mild, the flavor is mild to medium, taste is mild, room note very pleasant. It's pleasant. So, maybe I should read. Yeah, I can read the tin with a little bit of light. It just says the same thing as it says on the site. So, the pipe I'm going to be smoking this in is my Peterson Christmas pipe. I believe this is an XL 90, I think. I don't have a, let me see if I have a flashlight app here. Actually, I don't need one. So yeah, it's a Peterson Christmas XL90. This is from 2016. It's a nice pipe. I've had it a couple years. This will be the second, let's see, Christmas, smoked this Christmas, 2016, 17, this will be the third Christmas. So, the tin is already popped open. So, of course, it comes with that nice little card on there. I love that. And you're probably not going to be able to see this very well. But you can see the Virginias, the Black Cavendish, and the Perique in there. Let's get a tin note. Of course, it wafts of very strong ginger aroma. And I do smell a little bit of an orange kind of citrus flavor. Maybe a little bit of vanilla. Or maybe chocolate too. I don't know. But and then there's the orange liqueur, which is in there. And, you know, the Virginias will put out the citrus as well. So I'm going to load this pipe up with this beautiful Christmas blend. And I'll be right back. Fire it up and smoke it. See you in a few. Okay, I've loaded my pipe. This is probably the third bowl or fourth bowl I've smoked of this blend. And there is no drying required. It is like almost the perfect moisture level. You can if you want it a little drier, but you don't have to. I don't really recommend it. It's not really necessary. So, I'm smoking this blend for the last several times. I get a very, like right now, for instance, I'm getting a orange flavor. Should be the liqueur. Ginger. Very subtle vanilla. A little, maybe a little more than subtle. And a little bit of chocolate. So, let's see. What I'm getting from this right now is a lot of vanilla. Ginger. The orange liqueur, the orange flavor, kind of like, and mixed in with a little bit of chocolate. And the citrus from the Virginias too. And I'm drinking some Starbucks caramel, I don't know the full name, it's just caramel coffee. Caramel flavored coffee, and it's really good. Especially with this on Christmas Eve. And I wanted to expound on something here, and it's kind of something a little bit about the Christmas spirit, as people like to call it, the Christmas spirit. Through the years, there have been special Christmases in my life, as well as I'm sure all of your lives. Christmases that certain things happened, or they were magical, or you'll always remember them, and you'll always reflect back on them. In my life, there was several. I mean, I could name one in particular in '98, where it snowed the day before Christmas Eve, and the snow stayed on the ground for like an entire week till just past New Year's, a little over a week. And that particular year, I didn't know it was going to do that, but I did. Excuse me, my nose is itching. I did end up putting up, doing the biggest display ever as far as Christmas lights are concerned. And it just so happened that, to top it off, it ends up snowing at Christmas. Now, where I lived in New Jersey, I mean, you would only it would only snow right on Christmas. It would happen like on an average of every 20 or 30 years. So I was in the southern end of New Jersey, so it wasn't that common. But due to the fact that it was a special Christmas, it's kind of irrelevant to the snow. I mean, that was like interesting, and that made it special. But after years and Christmases gone by, from my observation, I noticed that it really doesn't matter where you are, or whether you're in a place that has snow, or whether you have a lot of gifts, or whether you have a lot of money to buy gifts. This year, I have plenty of food, and I have my decorations, and I have different things. I have everything I need, but I don't have any money for gifts this year. So it's a little, in that way, it was a little bit rough, okay? Not rough, because it's not that direly important to me. I think the Christmas spirit is something that's not based on these exterior elements like the snow, presents, just lights, or a certain amount of lights, or somebody has, they do the biggest display on the block, and these are like things that are relevant to like what actually is the Christmas spirit. And I have yet to actually pinpoint. I mean, my Christmas celebration traditions, they teeter on, and they're kind of blended with ancient decorating that the ancient Norse people decorated, the way they decorated, and mixed with, of course, my Christianity, and blended in with modern day things, with old traditional food maybe, and a few things here and there, like fruit cake or traditional Christmas steadfast things that are always there, So, what is the Christmas spirit? It's something that I feel that I cannot explain. I've tried to explain this to my friends. I've tried to explain it to people. You either will feel it or you won't. And if I had to explain it, you probably wouldn't understand it. And that's the only way I can express it. I do know that having family getting together is very important, very vital to that. But it's not completely vital. I mean, you could spend a Christmas completely alone, and probably still might be one of your best Christmases ever. It's you and God, and it's just like this feeling, and I don't know how to explain it. I've never been able to explain it. It's just one of those things. It's not You can't put it into words. So you consider yourself fortunate if you have felt the Christmas spirit, the true Christmas spirit. Seems like when I go out and I travel out to the malls or the stores, see all the shoppers, it's kind of like interesting to a degree, and it kind of brings that out to a degree, but it's kind of a turn off these days to me. I more or less am more reserved to lying back to a peaceful, quiet atmosphere, maybe a glass of wine and, the lights, the tree, some Christmas music, maybe some ancient Renaissance Christmas music or 14th century Renaissance or classical or, rock music too is fine. But I find that there's different elements of what people consider the Christmas spirit. And what do you consider the Christmas spirit? I'd like to hear your reflections upon this. Now, another point I want to bring about is these Christmases that we've all experienced, or hopefully all of us have been fortunate enough to, whether you're poor or rich or whatever, in the middle, whatever, you, no doubt, if you're a person that's in their 30s to their 50s, I'm 50, I'll be 55 in January. I've had a lot of Christmases, okay? When I was younger, I was not just able to do more, not just able to put up more lights on the exterior of my house, not just able to go out more, but there's the desire to go out more when you're younger. So that's why they say, do this while you're young, because when you get old, I'm not old. I don't consider myself old. I still feel young, but I'm kind of like in that laid back kind of atmosphere that you get when you're in your 50s. And it's something I enjoy. I enjoy my age. I don't regret that, and I don't wish to be younger. But there's one important thing to look at, and this crossed my mind last night while sitting in my car, thinking about that I live in Florida, and I probably will never see snow for Christmas ever again. So I got to thinking about this, unless I go travel somewhere geographically that's going to have snow for Christmas. But what crossed my mind was an interesting observation, and that is, when you get to that point where you're that age, and you've done a lot of these things when you were younger, you have all these things, these memories are locked in. I mean, 98 was one of the best Christmases I will ever have. 93 was one of the best Christmases I will ever have. Was when my wife was still living and we were together, and there was snow in between Christmas and New Year's. In 98 there was snow on Christmas, and the list goes on. I mean, there was a lot of different elements that make up an interesting Christmas. It's not just the snow, it's not just things like that. But thinking about this, I thought, okay, so I live in a tropical state now. But you know what? At my age, not really being as active as I used to be, I'm looking at it from sitting back and reflecting upon all these memories that are locked in. Just thinking of them and reliving them just brings about a good feeling inside during Christmas. So you're going to think of the Christmases of the past when you have a Christmas, but that particular Christmas is going to live down. You're always going to have memories from that one too. And we've all had our bad years. We know that. We've all had years when things in the family didn't go right, or there were problems, or whether it be money, whether financial or family feuds or disagreements, or somebody was sick or whatever. We've all had those, I'm sure. But We try to forget those, and we try to think of just the good ones. So, in essence, that does contribute to the spirit of Christmas, but I think there's a little bit more to it than that. I think it has to do with God and Jesus' birthday. Now, originally, Jesus' birthday in the Bible was not to be, well, as written in the Bible, was not encouraged to be celebrated in this kind of festival. It was something that I believe it was Constantine set these standards so that the pagans would hopefully, being allowed to keep their, whether they were allowed to or not, or whether they were encouraged to keep their decorating rituals, they did end up keeping them. So as a result of this this observation of Christ's birthday, if you grew up in a family that looked at Christmas in that manner as Christ's birthday, and so you're going to look at it that way, whether or not it was meant to be that way originally or it wasn't. And of course, we all know his birthday, he was not born anywhere near December 25th, but this is what they've done. So you take that with the ancient decorating rituals that go way back, stretch back from the Norse people all the way through the centuries up to the present, and you combine it all together, and it makes for one of the most interesting times of year there is. And then it comes near the end of the year, so you got the new year coming into. So it's unlike any other holiday. It's unique in that way because usually when a holiday's over, it's over. But now with Christmas, you got the whole thing going. The 12 days, you got the new year coming. So it's interesting. It's like double layered, like in that way. So I find the Christmas spirit is something that's, like I said, you can't put into words. You either feel this or you don't. Some people hate Christmas. Some people like it. Some years I'm not in the mood for it. Some years I am in the mood for it. Some years at the beginning I'm really not in a good mood. And then it takes a while. The Christmas spirit might hit me at different times. It might hit me right away as soon as Thanksgiving's over. Black Friday might hit me on Thanksgiving night. It might not hit me until a week before. I put this tree up it was 10 days ago. So just a reflection upon all this big holiday, and I don't get too involved in the commercial side of it anymore these days, going out and buying too many things. I really don't have a lot of money to be doing that, and I don't need to. So I really do like getting back to this tobacco here. I really think that this blend is really good. It's a special blend. I really like it. Taste a mixture of those flavors, like I said, and it goes very good with Christmas. So I'm going to see if I can pick me up a couple more tins, maybe in January if it's still available, and cellar them up because I don't know how long it's going to be around. I have to wait and see what happens with all that, right? So with that said and done, we'll bring this video to an end. And I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. And I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas Eve. And until the next video, cheers.
Descend